New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning. On Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg, T.I. back on the program.
You
Give it up one
dig.
time. New album on the way. What's the name of the new
Yeah, the
album?
Dime Trap.
That's right. 3 records
Yeah.
I've heard so far.
Okay.
I've heard the Meek Mill joint, Hefe.
Fire.
Yeah.
Rafe, is that
Yeah,
right?
Rafe and
And The
Weeknd.
Weeknd.
Yeah.
Rafe and the Meek Mill joint and the Weeknd, all fire records.
Man,
Who else
thank
is
you.
on the album though?
You got Tiana Taylor. You got Jeezy. Anderson .Paak. Let's see. Victoria Monet. Sam Hook.
Things.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a musical project, man. And conceptually.
And then you had Dave Chappelle narrate it, correct?
Yeah, Dave
Wow.
Chappelle he speaks, it moderates as the voice in my head.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's really dope. Why'd you come up with that idea this time around?
I mean, man, we just every time he and I get together, we just had these monumental evenings, man, and during one of these, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. extravaganzas of ours, I played some music, like 5 songs, and the next day, in a drunken, stupor, dazed, confused state, I see a text. He like, yo, them records you played was dope. And it was right during the time where I was sequencing. So I was like, yo, it'd be cool if you can come in and, just kind of be a part of the project. And he said he'd been waiting on an excuse to come to Atlanta. So he shot down and we just, kind of documented the time.
That's cool. Yo, I love Dave, man.
By the way,
Dave
well,
is
Yeah.
fucking
dope.
and I
best,
love
man.
his life.
Yeah.
His life is such that, like, the artist that he admires, he can do things like, yo, I got 2 days to just come.
Yeah, for sure.
So what'd you guys do in Atlanta when he came down?
Man, we did shit. We kicked it in the studio for the most of the time, and
He smoked lots of cigarettes.
we just
Tequila.
nah. He ain't really smoked that many cigarettes.
Really?
I told him every time he want to fire up a cigarette, I'm gonna give him something else to fire up.
There you go.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
He kept moving like that.
He stayed smoking, but not necessarily cigarettes.
He found a way to smoke. Regardless, okay, yeah.
Have you ever been to one of his jams?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we do
Or
every
like the jams
time.
where he has all these artists.
That's
come
what
through?
we do
Okay,
every
okay, okay.
time. Like
Some in
every
a
time we
barn
look up,
somewhere.
yeah, we
Yeah.
always at some dive bar with a live band performing. Impromptu. But now what we did, we locked ourselves in the studio. Then he just kind of developed an urge to get on stage. So he called into some stand-up comedian database hotline. And they kind of keyed him in his coordinates. We're getting your coordinates right now, Dave. Wait a minute. So you're in Atlanta. It's 12:30.
Who has a stage
You
here?
know, you have here we are, right here, 0.3 miles away. There's so he took me to this little comedy club I hadn't even never been to. I ain't never been over there in that area, and I live in Atlanta, and so we just walk in at the last minute of this comedy club on a Friday night, and it's like maybe 115 people in there.
Yeah, that's his thing, man.
You
He
know what I'm
loves it.
saying? Go in there and the man just go up on stage and do 2 hours. And then we went to Magic City. Then we went back to the
2
studio.
more hours, 3 hours. So,
God bless your energy.
Dime Trap
Yeah.
comes on the heels of, I would say, over the course of the last 5 months. I think it was Gucci Mane put out. He was he started trap music. You responded and said the words trap and music started with me on my album. And you as you individuals as OGs, and it ain't no problem. It was just
I mean, he was a significant contributor. He was a significant.
but you were making sure the story was told in the right chronological order. That's how I took it.
Absolutely, which leads me to my next topic of discussion. You guys should come visit the Trap Music Museum. We just opened the Trap Music Museum, just what I'm saying, to settle these types of quarrels and
So
discussions.
people know the order of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think that history should be told appropriately, and nobody should be left out here. One should be included and acknowledged for their contributions. That's why we all have exhibits with information and art, you know what I'm saying, and data and documents. You know what I'm saying? There's a timeline. You know what I'm saying?
And I even heard you talking on your Instagram and maybe it was an interview where you even said the words trap used in a song.
Right.
And you started to actually talk about the artists that you heard use.
Yeah. You got Ghetto Mafia. You got Cujo from Good and Mob, Big Boy. You got Kilo Ali, way back in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so many people have spoken about drug dealing before. Many people have spoken about, you know, even the word trap was, you know, used in a song, but nobody said that, yo, we're gonna make an entire, like, sound, cohesive project, and we're going to, you know, make it about experiences and adventures and derive from, you know, things that will make up, culminate music that comes from the trap. That those two words hadn't been combined to make a sound or to describe a sound before trap music. And I mean, you know, somebody else probably could have did it first, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and
that's just facts.
And that's just facts. And then the first record, you know, Dope Boys, which came off of the I'm Serious project, like no DJ would play that song. You know what I'm saying? Except for Greg Street, you know, on V103. That was the only DJ that would play Dope Boys and Trap Niggas. Okay, but you cut to now, today, you know, Percocet, Miley Percocet, that was the number one song in the country. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, you know, certain doors had to be open, certain trails had to be blazed, and, you know, other people's contributions had to be made for us to get to this point, but we not gonna discredit the foundation that was laid.
Do you, with this Dime Trap project, are you just giving us a new look, a new take on the current, what's the theme in the Dime Trap?
It's a TED Talk. It's a TED Talk for trap music. You know what I'm saying? I think before trap music was about me being a guy who had endured these experiences and who was coming out of this environment, stepping into a world that was very new to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what trap music was about and how I was adapting. Now it's more about, okay, I've been here, I've observed, I've learned lessons, and from what I can gather, these are my perspectives. This is the insight that I can share based on my research. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, this, yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is like a conclusive take on it.
You clarified yesterday what you liked about Kanye's 13th Amendment post.
Yeah.
And you also clarified that you generally do not agree with Kanye, but...
Yeah, I don't agree with everything that he's saying. Like, I think the whole MAGA hat thing is just kind of like some arrogant, ambitious reach to do something he feels nobody else could do but him.
Trolling.
You know what I'm
saying? Marketing,
promotion. I mean, I don't know if that's it either, because I feel like, you know, if that was the angle... you know, we kind of been down this road before with the first project from Wyoming, and he would see that, like, you know, it wasn't necessarily advantageous.
That's a good point.
Maybe
you know what I'm saying. So, but I'm no, he see.
He has to know it wasn't a huge hit. He knows he's not got songs on the radio. He knows that it's not moving.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is maybe he can't see that it didn't. He thinks that maybe people didn't like the music, so. But it wasn't the hat. No. The hat got him traction and retweets. And
he know. The man know that the slavery was a choice thing was a bad move. He knows that. He understands that. You dig? Like, he knows that. You know, I think that's what prompted the Chicago excursion.
We call it cleaning up with Kanye here.
Cleaning up with Kanye tour. I think you're right though. I think he's right, and you know better than I do certainly about him. He actually believes it is. The arrogance of the hat, it's truly just arrogant to believe that I know this hurts you, but I can change it for you.
Nah.
He says it, though. He's like, I'm putting this hat on with love. So he wants to change the narrative of it, but I just...
Yeah, I mean, hey, once again, maybe like in the middle of the storm, you can't really see. You know, maybe just take a little time, let stuff settle down a little bit. And see where all the debris lands. You dig what I'm saying?
Let's have a real convo as adults, though, about a hat. Right?
I don't even think he really feel that way. Like, you know, I mean, I think he's trying to reset the discussion. You dig what I'm saying? Like, reset the discussion of racism, reset the discussion of how we feel about, you know, America as a whole and our position in it. The whole slavery was a choice thing was kind of like, we are choosing to enslave ourselves. You know what I mean? That was
keep
what
reliving this
Yeah,
pain.
exactly. That's what he's trying to say. Just like with the 13th Amendment thing, he's saying that, you know, we were never really free. It's fictitious freedom. You know what I'm saying? So until
and as you pointed out, and
it's
we all
absolutely
talked,
true.
It's valid.
It's absolutely true.
But he didn't quite
And
word it
I know he
properly.
didn't. And I've always told
You
you.
did.
I told you guys
Yes.
the first time I came here and we spoke about this. If you listen to Kanye in 30 seconds, he's going to sound insane. But if you flush out his ideas and you just let him talk long enough, like every time, if you notice, every time he's on TV, he's doing an interview that's televised, it's always a question like, well, he didn't answer the question. It's like, and he always saying, well, y'all didn't give me time. You know what I'm saying? He needs more time to talk. And
out
of
of
course,
time, bro.
that's what I was just
Out
gonna
of
say.
time.
And the last thing any of us want is more time of him talking. But I also would say that us as a community, we so quick to throw stuff away. We so quick to throw stuff away. And that's how gentrification began. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the answer to us in our communities, our answers to the problems in our communities were always make enough money to move out and leave everybody behind. Okay, so once we make enough money and we move on the other side of town and we've abandoned this community and someone else finds value in it and comes in and buys it for pennies on the dollars and makes it valuable again, you can't come back and say, oh, well, you just bought up my community and left me out. No, you abandoned this community.
People
Well,
with wealth left.
This is deep, though.
You dig what I'm saying?
If
So-
you liken that to Kanye,
That's the
then
same
who's gonna
thing.
pick up Kanye?
Who's gonna
too?
pick up Kanye?
It's not going to be some polite gay couple who moved into Brooklyn.
You dig
It's
what I'm
gonna
saying?
Be, it's
They
going to
won't be
be
wearing
MAGA
Pendleton
hats.
shirts.
It's
Hey.
They
no,
were Pendleton shirts
exactly.
and beards.
It's not going to
We
be
never,
that crowd.
we
It's
never
gonna
know.
Be the MAGA hat
He could be the
crowd.
leader of the Tiki Torch movement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
don't-
think
I don't-
that's what
I'm just telling you, we so quick to throw stuff away.
Like
We
the
got to
building,
be
no
careful.
one likes this block anyway. Well, guess what? Other people come along. They do like the
We got to be careful. We got to
Someone
be
will come
careful.
along like Kanye.
We got to
I
be
would
careful.
Say this, though, what I see from people is people ignoring the noise, right? Ignoring the music because they don't like it, or just when he's ready to have real conversation or just shut up for a second. I don't see people throwing Kanye away.
Now, but see, this is the thing, right?
I don't see that.
This is the thing. I feel like this is just me in my observation. I think all of this started. I believe all of this started with that MTV thing with him and Taylor Swift. When he got on that stage thinking that he was taking up for Beyonce, doing the absolute wrong thing as Kanye usually does, but he had good intentions. He felt like MTV wasn't acknowledging Beyonce, who had the video of the year, and he felt like they were giving it to somebody just because she was white and a pop artist. So he stood up for that. He thought he was doing something noble. He thought he was doing something righteous. And he got shunned for that. The president of the United States called him a jackass for that.
That never went away for him.
You dig what I'm saying?
That
He's
was
held
Barack.
up.
Yeah.
Barack Obama from Chicago.
Yeah.
All this, it's all relevant.
Called him a jackass.
And
Okay.
he also was at a benefit, and he said that Barack didn't stay when it was time for him to perform. Remember
he
that?
never like.
Yeah,
he's
but
a-
see, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. So us as a culture, when that happened, he kind of, Anakin Skywalkered himself. You dig what I'm saying? He insulated himself and he kind of, went over to the dark side a little bit. And it wasn't enough. Even if he was wrong, I feel like, those closest to him should be like, man, you was tripping for real, but here's how we get through it.
Even the people on the other side was calling him all type of nigger and all type of shit for doing that to Taylor Swift. Because that's
Yeah.
how they was frying him up.
I feel you, but see
the
that-
people who love him now
That what
for
I'm
the
trying
MAGA
to tell
hat
you. That
is
what
the
I'm-
same people that was
That
calling
what
him
I-
all type of nigger and all type of other shit.
I understand that. I understand that.
But they love him now,
But I
and
feel
he
like
didn't hear it
I
then.
feel like he heard our silence more than he heard their noise.
But you know what's
You
interesting
know what
too,
I'm
Tim? I
saying?
think that's a really good point. It's also interesting because even in that moment where he was trying to do the right thing,
Yeah.
much like now, one of the reasons it went so badly is when he tries to do something, he often just injects himself so much into that moment.
Yeah.
That moment for Beyonce, it ended up feeling more like it was about Kanye than it was about Beyonce.
Right.
He has this very blurry, and he's doing the same thing now. Yeah, he's trying to talk about things, but it's mostly like, it's me, listen to me.
Yeah.
And I just think
But
when your
I mean-
motivations start in a confused place, you end up getting a confused message.
I get that, and this is true. But I mean, like, How many of the and mind you, I'm not trying to defend or take off, and I'm just just offering perspective as devil's advocate. How many of the greatest, most brilliant minds of geniuses of previous generations were understood the time of?
Yeah, no, it's rare.
You dig what
You
I'm
mean
saying?
music, like artistic
No,
geniuses?
just in period.
All time.
Shakespeare,
Anybody that's trying to change the norm,
Einstein, you know what I'm saying?
Anybody that's trying to change the norm.
Marcus Garvey,
The
Malcolm
problem
X,
with
you know what I
Kanye
mean?
is not the thought, like the thoughts of what he's attempting to do. It's the fact that when you say things like, black people vote for Democrats because of welfare.
Well, that's not, but
That's
on
just not even true.
No, but in his defense, black people been voting Democrat just because out of habit for so long and
That's
getting
fact.
absolutely nothing for
That's
it.
fact.
We have been the Democrat side bitch for decades and ain't got nothing for it. So now, while
That's
I
facts.
don't agree with us voting just for welfare, I feel like that's some shit he heard
No,
at
it's
a,
just not facts.
I feel like
it
that's
was
some
just-
shit he
it was
heard
wrong.
at a cocktail party, paraphrasing,
It was
and he
based on
just
voting rights.
regurgitated.
It happened in 1965. It was
Yeah.
he just got it wrong.
Right,
factually.
but what the notion that led to the statement is valid. You know what I'm saying?
Just voting for any party just
Right.
because.
If he
is
just really had a
problematic.
campaign manager.
That's
You
what-
know what I'm
that's what I'm
saying?
saying.
If he just had like a filter, if he just had somebody say, no.
How about
What,
this? If
what
he
are
just
you
stopped talking
trying
about
to
shit-
say?
How about this? Stop talking about shit you don't know nothing about.
I mean, I think the man he going he acting off of what he feel rather than what he know. I think
And I believe that right there is a bad precedent for.
it's bad PR. Definitely bad PR.
But it's the antithesis.
It's bad
It's just
PR.
a bad- like even with him, like, yo, the youth, think free, say how you feel. Nah, say how you feel about the shit you know about.
Right. Yeah,
Don't
but-
just talk about shit you don't know shit about.
I
Fam,
think-
anytime he wants to talk about free thinking and independent thought, he goes to his phone to regurgitate somebody else's thinking.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
Thank
How
you.
free is the
I think
thought?
information would definitely help out a lot.
Yo, he's like the antithesis of you. You may be the most educated.
thoughtful.
You're
You're
thoughtful.
thoughtful.
You're slow. You're
You take your
measured.
time picking
you like,
your words.
You like.
I mean-
You even use old throwback Southern gentleman words. Like you have your own verbiage. You put thought into things.
But yo, but Tip,
I mean,
Tip also reads, and
I
he's also
think
spent
that's-
time studying.
I think that's partly why Kanye's where he is, and I'm not where I am. I mean, I'm where I am. I think
you
that
think his freewheeling.
I
and
think
just,
that it appeals to. It's more people that can relate to how he acts and what he does than it is that can relate to what I do. And the people who can relate to what I do on that level, they're mostly reading and studying. They don't have time to go out and buy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think that.
Yeah, but would you rather have all the attention and extra money and have people think of you the way people think of him? Because the way
I'm
people
all right.
think of you is
I'm
with
all
respect.
right with my life. You know what I'm saying?
Good, please, 'cause if you're not, what am I gonna do?
I'm comfortable.
If
I'm
you're not
comfortable.
okay with your life, what are we gonna do, Tip?
I'm comfortable in my own skin. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping.
Okay, good.
But no, I think that there's value. I think that there's a value, and everybody's story deserves to be told. Everybody, not just the intellectuals, not just the real niggas, not just the dope boys, or everybody's story deserve to be told. The people that got bullied, you know what I'm saying, the nerds in class, and you know what I'm saying, like even that's why Amber Rose got the slut walk, because you know what I'm saying, prostitutes like, hell yeah, bitch, me too. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's story deserve to be told. Every walk of life, nobody can be told your story isn't important enough, and nobody cares about what you're going through. Nobody should be told that. That's why there is a place for Kanye and T.I. and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Even down to the Tekashi 6ix9ines and the Lil Pumps and the Young Thug, like everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. That's why when people get to hating on certain people in hip hop right now, it's like, yo, bro, if that shit ain't for you, it's plenty more shit out here that
Right.
you can relate
That's
to.
where we're at right now. It's kind of time to
You know
turn
what
it
I mean?
down. If you're not
Yeah.
into hearing Kanye, then turn the shit down.
If you focus more on the shit that exists that goes against you than you are on the shit that exists that's with you, that shows what kind of person you are. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I just focus on... That's why I said it don't cost me nothing just to sit back and watch. Just see how it turned out. I ain't got to jump to no conclusion. I ain't got to form no opinion. All I got to do is sit back and see where it go.
How do you feel about what's happening in the state of Georgia with this? It's a big governor race.
Yeah. Well,
what's the tone?
Stacey. I mean, I'm with Stacey. Yeah. I'm with Stacey, man. I think that
first black woman governor of a state.
The first black woman governor potentially of a state in the history of the United States.
And a woman that's worked.
Yes.
Like this ain't no just I
yes.
tripped and stumbled and got a position. This is somebody who's been an activist, has been vocal, has been...
She was the head of the city council. But listen, though, what I'm trying to say is the young lady comes from a place of knowing the dire need that exists with the underserved people in society. You know what I'm saying? Her brother is an ex-con who's been back and forth in and out the system. So she understands how the system kind of contributes to the statistics of recidivism and so on and so forth. She understands how most people, even though they get up, get out, and go to work 8 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, they still can't afford enough to get by from month to month to month. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she understands all of these things, and I feel like that is what we need in position to do what needs to be done for the people.
And does it feel strong?
Yeah, I mean, it does. It does feel strong. Only because, they lean on hate. Like, that's what their tactics is. Voter intimidation and, just hate-mongering white people shit, you know what I'm saying? Racist white people.
Shit.
Let's say racist white people shit. Evil, hateful white people shit. Shout out to all the fair and decent, righteous white people who use their influence for good. But it's some redneck, racist, I'm talking teeth gritting, snuff spitting motherfuckers down in Georgia.
Who would have guessed in Georgia?
You know what I'm saying? No, but I mean, you be fooled by Atlanta.
You are.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about 20 minutes out of Atlanta, north, south, east, or west, you gonna stumble onto a dirt road with a pickup truck and a Confederate flag and a motherfucker with a goddamn assault rifle ready to attack you.
That human that you're describing,
what about him?
Is the person that has aligned themselves with the MAGA hat.
Yes.
And
that's
so that's the piece of the comment. It's not the hat.
But also, that's also the person that is growing more and more extinct.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They're fighting for survival.
Their extinction, their extinction, it brings about such desperation that they're doing anything. And it's showing that they're desperate. It's like a motherfucker who drowning in the middle of the ocean and grabbing for a straw.
Yeah.
How the fuck how's a straw gonna save you? Last thing you need to do is drink some water, motherfucker. You need to get out of here.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like, as long as they hold on to that hate, then they're gonna expose themselves even further. And I feel like victory and equality is inevitable. But some bullshit got to happen first. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna get worse before it gets better. Some bullshit got to happen first.
Well, meanwhile, you pulling up in a Wraith and you got the Dom track.
Absolutely. I have two.
So you have
two Wraiths?
His and hers.
Amazing.
How much does a Wraith run for these days? If I was in the market,
I don't know.
You don't even know.
I don't know, $250,000, $250,000, something like that, $275,000.
Wow.
And now, do you
Why? Why do you ask?
Because we want to know how much money
I don't even know what.
No,
range.
say it. We want to know how much you spent on two cars.
But why? I didn't buy them both at the same time.
Spread it out.
Because it makes us happy to know people who could do that.
I know it, but it ain't about the money though. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual dollar amount.
No, it doesn't.
I don't
matter.
even really remember. Like
I can't walk into a bank and go, "Yo."
I bet you could. I could find you a way. You
can't.
Want one?
No.
Okay, well let's not talk about it.
I can't afford the insurance. I can't afford to get it fixed.
Man,
I drive a Ford.
It's gonna be. Hey, but look though, you got bumper to bumper full warranty insurance. You know what I mean? Full warranty on everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like everything. You have to pay for nothing. Ain't no getting it fixed. Ain't no getting it fixed.
Oh, is that what it's like when you buy a car like that?
Ain't no getting it fixed.
Oh, you spend the money, but they take care of it.
Even the Benz, the Benz, is bumper to bumper
they cover
warranty.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Why are we talking about cars?
Because you have a song called Rafe that I want to play.
Oh, you know what? That's excellent. What a segue. What a
see that?
segue.
That's where I was
Hey,
going.
man, that was excellent journalism on your behalf, Ebro.
Yo, T.I., we love you, brother.
Man, love, man. Appreciate
Soundtrack
it.
Friday.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, let's play this Rafe right here. Who's on this record? This is
This is Yo Gotti on now with Scott Storch on production. It's another record that I really want you guys to listen to, especially you as a young lady, and you too, man. You guys have wives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a record called The Amazing Mr. Fuck Up, and it's about I just find it. Yeah,
It's autobiographical.
Us. It's about us.
He doesn't want to be
about
left
me.
alone.
It's about us. Nah, man. I mean, I've never really kind of addressed, what I'm saying, my transgressions and the challenges that I've had as a husband on the record. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be it's a healthy. It's gonna provide some healthy dialogue.
Can I ask, did you discuss this record with?
No.
She's heard it though.
Never. Of course, she's heard it, but I would never discuss. No.
Are any of the topics covered in the record things that you had to discuss?
I'm sure. I mean, at some point in time, all of the topics discussed was some shit I had to discuss.
Did you have to
at
get
some
her
point.
her approval?
Nah,
to be
man.
comfortable?
What are you doing?
Where's it gonna go?
Nah, bro.
Okay,
Approval.
but as a father,
Approval. Come on, I'm a grown man.
Yeah, we don't answer to them.
I get to buy my own cars when I want to. You know what I'm saying?
as a father,
Yeah.
right, and a husband, right? Because you guys are
Yeah.
you guys never got divorced. You separated,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A record like this, right?
What about it?
Don't you brought the record up?
I know. You brought it up. Now it's hard to
No, I just want to know what about it. I'm interested in where this is going.
No, I just would love to hear because you have exposed your family on television, and
Sure.
now you're doing this in a song. This has never happened before. The
Right.
Amazing Mr. Fuck Up, T.I.,
Right.
a.k.a. The
Right.
Amazing Mr. Fuck Up,
Yeah.
right?
At least he's amazing.
At least.
You know what I'm saying?
But where are things at?
What-
with your wife and the family and the past?
Man, just keep us lifted up in prayer. You know what I'm saying? We
A work in progress.
Yeah, I mean, I think every marriage is a work in progress. Everything is day by day. Everything is. You know what I'm saying? Today is a good day. Yesterday was a good day. Let's work on tomorrow being a good day. You dig what I'm saying?
You ever bust out the line, God's not finished with me yet? It's a good one.
Nah, man, I tend to use the one, it could always be worse. Like,
Oh my
let's
God.
look at all the stuff, you know what I mean? I'm just like, look, man, all the stuff we gone through, all the things that we've gotten past, this is gonna be it. You telling me this is what does it?
This
This
can't
is
be it
what
if we
does
got
it.
through this.
Okay, well,
How
I
can we not
guess.
get through this?
Go ahead, put in all this hard work and leave it for someone else to come along and reap the benefits.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying?
By the way, fellas, don't try this at home.
Please.
Some of these things are not
I didn't say.
advisable.
Whoa, wait! I didn't say the shit worked. I'm just telling you that's what I say.
Again, Mr. Fuck Up.
I didn't say it worked. You know what I'm saying? I just never know what to say, and I can never find the right kind of like humility to apply. You know what I'm saying? It's always kind of like, but I'm not in prison though. You know what I'm saying? I gave up guns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to middleman no packs no more. I ain't doing none of that. I'm really on the straight and narrow. And the worst thing we have to discuss about me is,
model.
interaction.
Let's hear how he says it. I want to hear him say it.
Interaction with the opposite sex.
Come on. Very straightforward.
You know what I'm saying?
Very
I think,
clean.
Thoughtful. Once again, the
I
thoughtful
feel like
T.I.
I feel like that's progress. You know what I'm saying?
agree.
And who knows what we'll be next year?
Right.
You dig? But I think we've come a long way. We should acknowledge that.
And we can be confident that the thoughtful, amazing Mr. Fuck Up,
Yeah.
a.k.a. T.I.,
Yeah.
doesn't regress. You don't.
Progress.
It's all about
wait
progress.
a minute. Listen. I'm not intentionally no.
God's not finished with me.
I'm not going to.
Try it.
I'm not
It's great.
I'm not digging myself no hole. I just always want everybody to know. Listen, I'm human, and just as you are, ladies, you too. Your flesh is just as weak. You just hide it much better. You know what I'm saying?
Don't look at me like that.
You the only lady in my eye shot. You know what I'm saying? What up, Paula? Dina. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, man, I think we should all, just forgive, like Kanye say. You just forgive. Let's forgive.
Did you ever iron out what happened at your place of residence with the security guy and that whole incident?
Man, nah. I mean, I'm fighting the case, and
so that's still in court. That's still a thing.
Yeah, I'm fighting the case, and I mean, you know what I'm saying? They just really trying to save face for real, man. It's simple as this, man. White man pull up. It was a dispute between a resident and an employee of the community, which we pay homeowners association fees to pay his salary or whatnot. So essentially they work for us. I pull up, he was asleep. Okay, so the camera saw him sleeping. And he saw how he handled me when I woke up. Like he woke up, he was in shock. Saw how he handled Tamika when she called to tell him, you know what I'm saying, to let me in or whatever. So he was basically trying to save face. And he was antagonizing me, trying to get me out of character. So the story would be about me and how I was acting and less about him being asleep. And, he partially, I guess, achieved that. But I went and parked my car and walked back. So when I walk back, I'm addressing him and asking him his name, and he won't tell me his name. Then he called the police. I'm like, man, I don't care about you calling no police. I'm gonna stand right here. So I stood right there when the police come. They never asked to rewind the tape to see what was going on. Nobody. Everybody just got extremely defensive, towards me.
You're the rapper.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, and as far as he says he didn't even know me, which is fine. I don't expect you to know me. I expect you to be woke when I pull up here because that's what I pay you to do. And there was never any getting to the bottom of the situation. You know what I mean?
Does he still work there?
He just went straight. I don't think, dude don't work there. I don't even really pull up there. I just kind of don't even go there no more. They kind of messed it up for me. You know what I'm saying? I just, you call the police on me, man, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go to jail dealing with you. Now this is different. This whole golf course is tainted. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so, and I also got footage, camera footage inside the guard shack when the police was talking to the two black people, a black lady and a black man, white policeman. So, I guess the black lady's trying to explain to the officer who I am or whatever. She said, yeah, he's T.I., he's a rapper, he lives in, and then he said, oh, okay, so he thinks his shit don't stink, huh? And she say, I guess, basically. Then he walks right outside and he locks me up.
Wow.
That's what happened. And this is all documented, but yet they still gonna charge me. That's fine. I don't have, hey man, last thing
charge you with? What's the charge?
I don't know, public intoxication, I forgot. But anyway, the last thing you gonna do to shake me up is give me some misdemeanors. You know what I'm saying? Misdemeanors, I take all the misdemeanors you got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you could see that he already had his mind made up of what he was gonna do for his own. He was biased, and his bias is reflected in the tape. And I feel like as soon as I get in the courtroom, we'll get it settled out. Then I can begin the fun part. Civil damage.
You look forward to that.
I mean, I don't enjoy litigation, but
he's been around it a few times.
Saying? Whatever it take to get it done. Right. You dig what I'm saying?
Love it.
Justice must be served.
T.I., man, pick up the new album, Dime Trap. Let's play this joint, The Weeknd.
Yeah.
This features
Young Thug.
Yeah. Album out Friday.
Produced by Swiss Beats.
Swizz on it right now in the zone.
Yeah, he
you
in
heard
the zone.
Swizz's new album?
Yeah, I heard half of it. I got to get to the other half, but he definitely zoned out on that one. And he didn't call me for it, oddly. Didn't call me. I'd seen Swizz quite a few times, and I ended up on the composition. I wonder why. We'll discuss that in more detail offline.
Thanks, Ted.
The amazing Mr. Fuck Up. Give it up for him one time.
Yeah.